Welcome to Let's Talk Computer Science. I'm your host, Sandhya Padala, CEO of Rex Academy. Rex Academy is a one-stop solution for computer science. Joining me in this week's episode is Ms. Nandini Sinha. Nandini is helping students in Wisconsin develop a lifelong love for learning. She serves as a Chief Innovation Officer at Sharp Literacy. The organization partners with educators to help enhance the learning experience for students by incorporating innovative STEAM-based experiential programs. Nandini has an MBA and MS in economics and is a certified fundraising executive. Nandini, we are so excited to have you on our show. Let's talk computer science.
Let's do it, Sandhya. I'm ready.
Yep. Thank you so much for giving us this time and opportunity to talk to you. So tell us more about your background and how did you get to where you are today?
Sure. As you and I have discussed earlier, I grew up in Bombay, in India, and India being a technologically developing country, STEM education was very important to us. And so I studied STEM subjects, as you said in your intro. I have a master's degree in economics and math, so that was always part of the journey. And when I came to the United States and I started working, specifically in the last possibly a decade or so, I've been working in nonprofits and realized how first of all, how important STEM is. One always knew that, and computer science. But there is such an opportunity gap, Sandhya, between students from underserved communities and their more affluent peers. So it's not just gender disparities that, of course, exist, but economic disparities, opportunity disparities, and the list goes on and on.
Yep. So can you talk to me a little bit more about your current work and can you walk us through like a typical day?
Sure. At Sharp Literacy, we work to help students develop a love of learning through hands-on programs. Like you said in your intro, we do a lot of experiential teaching. When I first started about in 2012, it was a visual arts based program, but very quickly we learned that we need to serve our students differently. We need to expose them to tech forward subjects, and we started a program called Design Through Code, which taught foundational coding to fourth grade students in a handful of M.B.A schools. To fast forward, present day, we serve 1,600 students
Wow.
in this coding program from 11 schools in Milwaukee and Waukesha counties, and hoping to expand. Each day we hear from schools that they would like us to bring our programs into their schools, but unfortunately we are constrained by capacity, either be it funding or teacher capacity.
Yep, it makes sense. So can you describe more about your, you already talked about computer science. Can you talk a little bit more about that program and what are your other education STEM-based programs? And let's start there.
Sure. So like I said, we provide a foundational coding program to starting in third grade. And our philosophy is that teach them young, because all kinds of statistics show that when students reach middle school, often it is too late for them to catch up catch up or develop an interest in STEM subjects. And as a result, they choose non-STEM electives. And that has a cascading effect all the way up to high school and college and beyond. Which is why one of the reasons why we are facing this tremendous shortage in STEM professionals in industry. We hear that every day. So, which is probably the rationale for us to start teaching these technology forward subjects starting in third grade. So in third and fourth grade, we do a lot of foundational concepts. In fifth grade, we consider it to be a bridge program to middle school. And we introduce a lot of different tech subjects like physical computing, working with circuit boards. We provide Arduino boards to students. We also introduce them to virtual reality, which when we first started, I was skeptical whether the fifth graders would understand these very complex topics, to me complex, but we were pleasantly surprised. They all have dabbled in this universe with their Nintendo Wii's and other video games that they play. So they sort of knew their way around, and we were lucky enough to provide our students with Oculus headsets, so they were able to have that authentic VR experience. And then we have a unique collaboration with the Milwaukee School of Engineering, and they introduce a lot of engineering, hands-on engineering topics to the students, which has always been a big plus. The students love it. They're engaged. And honestly, Sandhya, at this point, we feel that student engagement is primary motivation for us, because with the pandemic, engagement has taken a big beating, because students were learning virtually, and there is little accountability, let's face it, from all ends. So that has been something that we've really pushed on. Social emotional learning is very important for us. So it kind of goes hand in hand with all of the other hard learning that happens in the classroom. We also provide teacher professional development. It's very important, because what we found is classroom teachers often are not equipped to teach tech subjects, and are afraid sometimes to do that. So we provide professional development regularly, as well as provide a lot of online resources so that they can access at their convenience.
Yep. Yeah. Everything you said, makes sense to me. Like, if you don't get them young, then they're like biased towards the STEM subjects. Like, that's why, as you said, like only 3% of African Americans take computer science in high school and beyond. And still it's only anywhere from 5 to 15% of women are in software professionals. So, and you, as you have mentioned, like there's a huge teacher issue in teaching computer science. So like, unlike like teaching math, English, computer science is ever changing and requires one to keep updated on the latest trends, technologies, and programming languages. Like you talked about virtual reality, Arduino. And so I studied computer science all my life and worked in IT, but still virtual reality, I never encountered virtual reality. So it's hard to expect teachers who probably has not even studied computer science while they were growing up. And it's very wide range of topics like software development, cybersecurity, AI, virtual reality. In addition, many teachers, they have probably never studied computer science, or just lack the competence to teach the subject. So in these situations, do you think teachers can benefit from having support from a technical expert?
Absolutely. And which is why at Sharp we have partnered with organizations like, MSOE, others being Gearbox Labs in the area. We also partner with the Code the Hone, which is a citywide initiative to light the Hone Bridge, and we teach students the coding behind how the lights work. So we couldn't do it on our own. We depend on our partners, and I think uh, having those resources, whether in person or online, is invaluable for a small organization like ours that is looking to multiply our impact in this region.
Yeah. So what are your goals for next couple of years to increase like computer science education?
Well, the goal really is for us to uh, tap into what is already an initiative with the Milwaukee Tech Hub. In fact, we are the only elementary serving organization in that tech hub. So we are providing that foundational services, but the goal is to plug into the citywide initiative and do our bit in building that tech talent pipeline, so to speak, starting in elementary school, starting young, and then plugging in to some of those middle school STEM uh, uh, opportunities that exist, so that we are seamlessly sort of flowing into middle school, high school, and beyond. So we definitely want to play a role in this initiative.
Yep, that's really amazing what you're doing, and like the age group that you're targeting is really awesome. It's commendable. So I have another another thing, thought-provoking question here. So finding qualified educators to teach computer science is becoming a challenge for many schools across the country, and especially in our state, like Wisconsin, graduated 5 computer science teachers in the past 5 years. So, do you think should schools consider hiring remote computer science teachers to address the shortage?
It's like I said before, I think it is the only way to go because the current model is not sustainable. We don't have the bodies to teach. We are finding that out every day. And not just tech educators, Sandhya, just educators in
Yeah,
general.
no.
They're sort of dropping off the map faster than we can replace them. And when it comes to tech educators, for sure, that problem is huge.
Mhm.
So we just do it's all hands on deck for us right now, especially with the pandemic induced learning loss, which we were chatting about earlier. And yes, if we can get online resources, whether it is one-on-one training or if it is any other kind of resources that are out there for our teachers to plug into those opportunities and then apply them into the classrooms. That's going to be very important for us. I want to make sure that I also address the fact that we are not only teaching, with these workshops that we conduct, we also give students an opportunity to do what we call a design challenge. So they are identifying a problem in the community and thinking of ways to solve that problem. They do a paper and pencil drawing. They then translate that into a digital rendering using code. Um, and from that, they build a prototype. So you see the connection that the kids are making, and they then present their project to a panel of judges who are typically IT professionals like you, Sandhya, and others who judge them on their work. And the best of the best teams from 7 schools then represent their schools in what we call an school design challenge. This year it's on April 7th at the Wisconsin Center. We are very excited. The students are going to have an opportunity to show off or showcase their talent, their prototype, interact with professionals in this field, and just get that boost that they so badly need, to continue their STEM education forward.
Yep. Yeah. I'm really super impressed with what you're doing. Like that shows them like if they can dream about whatever they want to create, and coding will help them make that reality. So that's a big lesson in itself, and hopefully some of the kids decide to continue that. Either they become entrepreneurs or work in IT industry.
Absolutely. And for them to be able to make those connections outside of the classroom, even. And that's when it becomes real for them. Like this group was talking about how there is immense food waste that they noticed in their classroom. And they did this digital rendering of a refrigerator and shelves, and it was really pretty nuanced and sophisticated. And then they built this with everyday cardboard and other materials, a little refrigerator shelves, and how they were going to then take all of this food items, perishable and otherwise, and channel them to a food pantry which is close to their school. So they are thinking of the community. They are seeing themselves as contributing members of the community, and how they can use their tech skills to solve some of those problems that they see all around them.
It's super cool, super impressive. It's really nice what you're doing. So, what do you think? Like, if you have a magic wand, what do you think is ideal solution that are needed to improve and better our computer science education in K-12?
If I were to just dream a big dream, I would say that it's important for us to raise the standard and make it equitable for all our kids, not just for some of our kids, so that everybody, the future, they say that young people or young students are 20% of the population, but 100% of the future. So we know that we need to make tech education accessible and equitable across the board for lower income communities, for girls, for every family that is out there, just so that they can then plug into a more an economy that works for everybody.
Yep, makes sense. Yep, thank you. Thank you so much. Any other final words that you'd want to say for our listeners?
I want to thank you, Sandhya, for giving me the opportunity. We've had a few technical glitches, but hopefully this part will go smoothly. I want people to check Sharp Literacy out on our website, www.sharpliteracy.org, all one word. Just know that we are doing our part as a small organization in the community, just like you are.
Yep. Awesome, Nandini. Thank you so much for your work, and thanks to Sharp Literacy for the impact that you are doing in Milwaukee and especially in the MPS schools. Awesome job. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.